walk to your thermostat right now. It is sitting on the wall of a home you own, connected to a furnace that cost you $5, $6, maybe $10,000. You cannot fix that furnace. You cannot buy the replacement part. You cannot even run the diagnostic. And if you try, the company that sold it to you will void your warranty and leave your family without heat. This is a coordinated lockout engineered by 5 corporations who have turned your home's most essential system into a subscription service they control entirely. In this investigation, we are going to expose exactly how they did it, who profits from it, and the only moves you have left to fight back. Here is exactly how they locked your furnace. Here is what most homeowners do not know. What looks like a competitive market of heating and cooling brands is actually an oligopoly wearing a costume. Carrier, Bryant, Trane, Comfort Maker, Heil, Tempstar, Day and Night. Those are all one company. Carrier Global. Trane and American Standard. One company. Dakin, Goodman, and Amana. One company. York, Coleman, and Luxair. One company. Lennox, Armstrong, and Duquesne. One company. 5 parent corporations control roughly 80 to 90% of the residential HVAC market in North America, hiding behind approximately 30 brand names. They do not compete on price. They compete on which dealer network gets to service your equipment at whatever rate they choose. And they have engineered those dealer networks to be the only entities capable of servicing the machines they sell you. The result is predictable. A service call that used to run $80 now regularly reaches $200 to $400. Parts that cost $12 wholesale appear on your invoice at $150 to $200. And if your system needs a diagnostic reset, there is no number you can call except theirs. There are roughly 114,000 HVAC companies in the United States. Most are small family-owned operations that have served the same neighborhoods for decades. And over the last 15 years, the manufacturers have built 3 separate walls between those independent shops and your equipment. Each wall is more brazen than the last. And the third wall they are building right now may be the most effective of all. Here is how the lockout works, layer by layer. In the old days, a furnace was a straightforward machine. A gas valve, a burner, an inducer motor, a heat exchanger, a blower. Any trained technician with a multimeter could diagnose it in 20 minutes and fix it with a part from the local supply house. The thermostat was dumb by design. Red wire for heat, green wire for the fan, yellow for cooling. A $25 Honeywell from the hardware store ran every brand of equipment ever made. That world is gone. Starting in the mid-2000s, the major manufacturers introduced what they called communicating HVAC systems. The marketing promised smarter operation. What it actually delivered was a proprietary digital lockout. Lennox called it iComfort, Carrier called it Infinity, Trane called it Comfort Link 2, Rheem called it EcoNet. They all work on the same principle. Instead of simple wire signals, the thermostat, furnace, air handler, and outdoor unit now communicate through a private digital data bus using an undocumented protocol. Each manufacturer speaks a different language, and they have not published the dictionary. What this means in practice is devastating. If you have a Lennox iComfort system and the thermostat fails, you cannot replace it with a Nest, an Ecobee, or any universal model. You must buy a Lennox thermostat from a Lennox dealer at Lennox dealer prices. Lennox's own website confirms this is intentional. They state their technology is proprietary to Lennox equipment. When technicians searched for protocol documentation to service the system independently, they found nothing. Lennox also states, for safety reasons, Lennox does not make parts directly available to consumers. There is no safety reason. Capacitors do not explode when touched by non-dealers. This is a distribution lockout. If a homeowner manages to source a Lennox part independently, the warranty is immediately void. But Lennox is not even the worst offender. That distinction belongs to Carrier. On a Carrier Infinity communicating system, the furnace control board contains a small embedded chip called the model module. It tells the furnace exactly what model unit it is paired with. The furnace will not run without it. Boards are pre-programmed at the factory for specific units and cannot be swapped. If you source a replacement board and install it without the matching model module, the furnace throws error code 25, invalid model selection. Your furnace sits dead in January, and the only entity with access to the correct module is a Carrier authorized dealer. They have not just locked the parts, They have put a proprietary serial number inside the core of the machine and kept the decoder ring for themselves. But that is only the first wall. What they built into the software is something different entirely. Let us talk about Trane. Trane Technologies owns Trane and American Standard, representing a major share of commercial and residential HVAC equipment across the country. If you want to diagnose, commission, or program a Trane commercial system, you need their proprietary software called Tracer TU. The cost of one annual license runs between $1,700 and $4,000, not a one-time purchase, a subscription every year for the right to use a laptop to communicate with equipment your building already owns. And now Trane is refusing to renew those licenses for independent contractors. One university with over 600 Trane fan coil units across its campus reported this directly. Once your license expires, Trane will not renew it. The maintenance technicians responsible for those buildings can no longer access the tools to do their jobs. One contractor called every Trane dealer in his region asking to borrow the software for a single service call. Every dealer refused. The only documented exception to this lockout is a Department of Defense mandate, because military facilities cannot legally be held hostage by a vendor's software policy. That is the model. You buy the equipment, they own the password, and the annual fee for accessing your own building just went up again. But here's where it escalates from predatory business practice to something much larger. The refrigerant inside your air conditioner is not just a coolant anymore, it is leverage. For decades, home air conditioners ran on R22. Then the EPA banned it to protect the ozone layer. Production ended entirely in 2020, and reclaimed R22 now costs between $90 and $150 per pound. Every older system running R22 became a financial liability overnight. Homeowners were pushed into full replacements. Enormously profitable. Then the standard shifted to R410A. And in 2020, Congress passed the American Innovation and Manufacturing Act, which phased out R410A from new equipment entirely, with a manufacture ban starting January 1st, 2025, and an installation ban taking effect January 1st, 2026. Sound familiar? It should. You have seen this playbook before. The refrigerant changes, the equipment becomes obsolete, and the cycle starts again. The replacement refrigerants are called R454B and R32. Both are classified A2L, meaning mildly flammable. That flammability classification is now being used to justify an entirely new layer of access control. A 2L refrigerants require specialized recovery equipment. Standard R410A machines cannot legally handle them. New EPA certifications are required. New tools, new training, new capital investment for every independent technician who wants to keep working. A cylinder of R454B that cost $345 in 2021 now costs over $2,000. That is a nearly 500% price increase in 4 years. Multiple contractors report being unable to source R454B at any price during peak season. One put it plainly, you cannot get R454B right now unless you buy a brand new system pre-charged from the factory. Think about what that means. Your 10-year-old air conditioner develops a small refrigerant leak. The independent technician you trust cannot source the refrigerant to repair it. The manufacturer's authorized dealer can, so you replace the entire system. And the system you replace it with runs on a new communicating platform that the same independent technician cannot diagnose without a proprietary software subscription. Hardware lockout, software lockout, refrigerant lockout. Each one reinforces the others, and now the fourth wall is going up around the independent technicians themselves. Over the last 3 years, private equity firms have identified nearly 30,000 family-owned HVAC companies as acquisition targets. In the first half of 2025 alone, private equity accounted for 39 of 77 recorded HVAC industry acquisitions. One platform called Wrench Group, backed by Valor Equity Partners and Silver Lake, now owns over 100 HVAC brands and generates over $3 billion in annual revenue. Apex Service Partners operates across 45 states. Celea Services sold to Goldman Sachs for $1.7 billion in November of 2024. When private equity acquires your local HVAC company, It installs flat-rate pricing software that enforces markups of 300 to 600% on parts as standard practice. The $12 capacitor becomes a $200 line item on your invoice, and the home warranty you bought to protect yourself from exactly this situation makes it worse. Home warranty companies collected an estimated $9.2 billion from American homeowners last year. The pitch is simple. Pay $40 to $80 a month, and when your furnace breaks, they cover the repair. What the fine print actually delivers is a claim denial machine. American Home Shield, the largest player in the market, has accumulated over 18,000 Better Business Bureau complaints in 3 years. On Trustpilot, 78% of customer reviews are 1 star. The business model is not consumer protection. It is claim denial through fine print. Pre-existing conditions: lack of maintenance records, improper installation, code violations. These exclusion clauses are written and enforced by the same company that profits from denying the claim. When a claim does survive the gauntlet, the warranty company sends its own contractor at a cut-rate fee, which creates every incentive for the cheapest possible repair or an outright replacement push. In documented cases, homeowners have received replacement quotes of $15,000 or more from warranty-assigned contractors, while independent technicians quoted the same work for less than half that amount. You are paying $40 a month so that someone else gets to choose the contractor, set their rate, and hand you the bill. Now let us return to where we started. That thermostat on your wall connects to equipment manufactured by one of 5 parent corporations. It communicates on a proprietary protocol that no independent technician can access without a paid software license. Its refrigerant requires tools and certifications that most independent shops are still scrambling to acquire. And the local company that might have serviced it fairly has likely been absorbed by a private equity platform enforcing 3 to 6 times parts markups through standardized pricing software. That is the system that was built around your home. Not because it makes your equipment work better, not because it makes your home safer, because it turns a one-time purchase into a permanent annuity flowing to 5 corporations and their financial backers. Here is the final fact that should make every homeowner furious. Under a federal law called the Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act, passed in 1975, manufacturers cannot legally void your warranty simply because you used a non-brand part or a non-authorized technician. They can only deny a claim if they can prove the third-party repair directly caused the failure. The FTC issued a formal policy statement in 2022 reinforcing that tying warranty coverage to authorized service is illegal under federal law. The automotive right to repair movement used this exact legal framework to win in Massachusetts in 2012, with 86% of voter support. Car manufacturers spent $26.6 million in 2020 trying to block an expansion of that law. They lost. No one has formally applied this framework to HVAC yet. Minnesota's Digital Fair Repair Act took effect in July of 2024, explicitly covering heating and cooling equipment. Colorado's law takes effect in January of 2026. Oregon, notably, carved out a specific exemption for HVAC from its right to repair legislation. That exemption tells you exactly where the industry's lobbying money went. The war your car-owning neighbors have been fighting for a decade has now arrived at your furnace room. And unlike the automotive battle, no one has shown up to fight it yet. So what do you do? 2 choices that actually matter. First, support right to repair legislation in your state. Call or write your state representative. The automotive and farming precedents prove this fight is winnable. Minnesota and Colorado already protect heating and cooling equipment under their laws. More states will follow when consumers demand it. Second, when you buy a new system, ask 2 specific questions before the installation truck pulls away. Does this equipment use a proprietary communicating protocol? And are replacement parts stocked at standard supply houses or only through authorized dealers? A non-communicating system still uses universal wiring and can be serviced by any certified technician without a software subscription. They lock the parts. They lock the software. They lock the refrigerant. They are buying the independent technicians who used to be your alternative. But they cannot yet take away your right to choose what goes in your own home. If this investigation opened your eyes, hit subscribe. There is more coming on the corporate systems being built inside the walls of your house.